start, I should warn about half the people in this room that I'm about to really annoy you. And that's because I refer to this town as Fort Mac. And that's why. A nickname means you belong. I read that in a magazine article with Buck ONeil. He played ball for the Kansas City Monarchs back in the day, and then went on to become the first African-American coach in Major League history. Anyways, think about that for a sec. A nickname implies a relationship or some sort of closeness. A nickname, at the very least, is better than indifference. So that's something that might annoy you. But you know what annoys me? The doctor's office. Now, not my doctor himself. He's actually a really great guy. But what drives me bananas is the signage in his office. So you go in there, and he's got this sign that says, please, only address one health concern per visit. So if you went in there with a killer headache, but suddenly found yourself with a shooting pain up the left side of your body, you've got some quick decision-making to do, don't you? But that's not even the sign that drives me the most bonkers. This is the sign that drives me nuts. This is on his receptionist's desk. Don't take your bad day out on us. Abuse toward employees will not be tolerated. Thank you. Now, maybe I was just grumpy because of this head cold that I wasn't allowed to address during my visit. But to me, this sign is like the barking dog on your neighbor's front lawn. But it's not just any neighbor, is it? That's the problem. It's the neighbor we spent 40 minutes waiting to see in a crowded waiting room full of crying babies and teenage girls waiting to get their first pap smears. You know what? I never even saw a sign like this until I moved to Fort Mac. And that's saying a lot, everybody, because I'm from Hamilton, Ontario, which is a short 45-minute drive from Toronto. And if I never saw a sign with that much attitude in Toronto, then I certainly didn't expect to see it here in Fort Mac. And the thing is, these signs, they're not just in my doctor's office. They're all over the city. So I wrote about this once for the Connect newspaper a couple months ago. And it seemed to really strike a nerve with a lot of readers. Some people were on board and they got it. They were with me. Right on, sister. Other people? No, they told me to get off my high horse. And they suggested that it doesn't matter what a sign says. And does it matter? Why was I getting so bothered by a sign that I could just easily ignore? And really, in this day of the online shopping experience, don't we all just want to get our crap and go? But it does matter, because our great little city is becoming synonymous, not just with bad service, but with a bad attitude. Now, how did it come to this? To me, signs like this, the one in my doctor's office, are partly to blame. Because if I can see it, then everyone can see it. This sign is not indicative of the Fort Mac that I know and love. I think we can do better than this. And in fact, we have to, because there's a ton of push to let the media and the general public know all the great things about Fort Mac. Once in a while, an unsavory article will come out. And because we're a loyal bunch, we get really mad, don't we? We're good at that. Ugh! They can't say those things about us. But they can say those things, because it's their perspective, and they're entitled to it. The thing is, if we want people to start saying nice things about us, then we have to, start doing nice things. And I think we can start with the way we welcome people into our community. So one of the best things I think we have is our people, right? You agree? Absolutely. And I think the coolest thing about our citizenship is that most of us come from somewhere else. I say we take the very best of home and bring it to Fort Mac. I'm not just talking about social clubs and cultural gatherings. We already do a really, really good job of that. What I mean is taking the best traditions and customs from home and putting a Fort Mac spin on it. So here's an example. By show of hands, who here has been screeched in? Okay, so you guys get it. For those that don't know, screeching in is what it means to become an honorary Newfoundlander. There's a lot of pomp and circumstances around this ceremony. You have to kiss a codfish and drink a lot of bad alcohol. So what does the Fort Mac version of this look like? Is it possible to get macked out? And what would that entail? I sort of imagine a special space dedicated in the airport for the ceremony of getting macked out. And then when all is said and done, you could come away with an honorary Fort Mac passport. Now that's just one custom from one small corner of the world. Asia, Africa, Europe, the Middle East. We have people from everywhere right here in Fort Mac. So there is literally an entire planet worth of inspiration to draw from. You know, they say that Fort Mac is a place where dreams come true. What if we put a fountain, maybe not as fancy as this, somewhere in town? You know these fountains, usually people would like find a coin, make a wish on it, and throw it in? Maybe we invite them to do that. And then maybe off to the corner there's a sign, and it says, "Hi, welcome to Fort Mac. You don't need to worry about wishes anymore, because with some hard work, all of your dreams will come true." You know what? My whole life, my mom has said to me, "Lanny," she calls me Lanny, "you can wish in one hand and you can shit in the other. But that shit in hand's always going to fill up the quickest." That's my mom. To me, that is such a great testament and a reminder of the value of hard work. That's a Fort Mac message, I think. Now imagine something like this, something that looked like this, became the unofficial flag of Fort Mac, and every property owner was encouraged to fly this with pride. What an amazing way to quite literally welcome people from all over the world into our community. And what if we took that a step further? What if every business or storefront had a red carpet leading to its front door? It doesn't have to be an actual red carpet. It could be a painted red rectangle that goes from the front door, across the sidewalk, and down the curb. So what the Eiffel Tower is to Paris, and what the Statue of Liberty is to New York, that red rectangle could become an iconic symbol of Fort Mac hospitality. In fact, imagine the entire stretch of Highway 63 with one long red carpet. So it's a massive red carpet leading into town to prepare newcomers for the magic and adventure that awaits them in Fort Mac. But you know what might be more appropriate? A yellow brick road. Because just as Dorothy and her motley crew went to Oz in search of a brain, a heart, and courage, so too do thousands come to Fort Mac every year in search of their own destiny. You know, we're still a growing city, and we still have a lot of kinks to work out. But they say that the best way to eat an elephant is one forkful at a time. And I say we start this with a very simple welcome. Thank you, everybody. You've been